So welcome everybody. I am stood here in Greenwich Park. This is the actual start of the London Marathon. This is where you're going to be in October 2022. We put together a training plan. Now I should say it's no more than a guide. There are many other training plans out there. You get a really good one with the official London Marathon guide as well. Probably aimed more at the beginner or the novice end of the marathon training spectrum. The mileage is relatively modest. Some of the more advanced plans will have mileage of up to 60, 70, 80 or even 100 miles per week, but it's still a big daunting challenge. If you're really new to running, what we'd suggest is that you do a few weeks of easy jogging before you work into the plan. Now when you're here on race day, 26.2 miles, that's an incredibly daunting challenge. The way to approach it, the way all the great marathon runners approach it, if you listen to Paula Radcliffe, the way she approached it is that she breaks it down into small, manageable, achievable goals. Different ways of doing that. You can kind of cut the race up into different fractions. I like to cut it up into roughly 8 lots of 5k. 5k is a distance you'll become familiar with through your plan, through park run. But that's the way to approach the race. If you think of 26.2 miles, it's an overwhelming challenge. The same really is true of the training plan itself. If you look at 3 months or more ahead of hard training, building up, it can be overwhelming. Just think of it as session by session, week by week. Tick off each week as you do it. That's what I like to do. It gives you a sense of satisfaction and achievement. The key though is to start steady, just like on race day itself. When you're lining up here, you're going to be wanting to start really steady. You're going to be super excited. You've got to rein that in and just start slowly. And the same is true of the training plan. Don't get carried away. We don't want any early injuries. Start steady in the plan, just like you will on race day. Now, the other thing is, I'll let you into a secret. No marathon runner in history has ever nailed every single session in their plan as they intended to. It just doesn't happen. Things get in the way. Life, employment, holidays, illness, caring responsibilities, whatever it might be. There's going to be a week here and there where things get in the way. Now, if that happens, what we'd suggest is don't panic. If you know you've got a week like that coming up, then try and focus on 2 key sessions. The first is the quality session. By quality session, I mean that session in the week where we do some dynamic work, some hills, some speed work, some tempo work. Now, purpose of that is to strengthen you up, to give you a bit of depth to your training. There are no hills in London, so you might ask, well, why am I doing hills? Well, that kind of session prepares your body for some of the rigors ahead, and it also begins to prepare your body for the race itself, because mile 1, you're going to be free and easy and your body's going to be very relaxed. Your body's doing very different things at mile 25. Some of those sessions prepare your body for those kinds of demands. The other key session, and this is the cornerstone for any training plan, is the long run. This tends to be at the weekend. It doesn't have to be, but that's when people tend to have most time. This is the key to it, building up those long runs gradually. Now at the start, I wouldn't worry too much about pace, don't worry about your speed. Don't even necessarily worry too much about distance. It's more about time on your feet, getting your body used to those long efforts. If you're not familiar with that, it takes a lot of adjustment. So take it really steady, take breaks if you need to, take some hydration, take water with you, particularly on a hot day like this. You're going to be starting off in the summer. I've got a beautiful day here in Greenwich. You need to hydrate, and you're going to need to hydrate on race day itself, so it gets you familiar with taking on a little bit of water during your running. So start steady, trust in the process, trust in the plan. On race day, you're going to trust in yourself. You're going to have all those training months behind you. Stick with the plan, build it up steadily, don't get carried away, and don't be overwhelmed by it. Don't look ahead to weeks 12, 13, where you're going to see these long runs that you're not used to. It's all about building up slowly to the challenges ahead, just like it is on race day. Okay, I'm going to move on next to the next key point in the race. This is the 5k point.